where the United States on Tuesday imposed sanctions on Venezuelan Chief Justice Miguel Moreno and announced a $5 million reward for information leading to his arrest or conviction for allegedly participating in transnational organized crime. In a statement, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said the reward for information leading to the arrest or conviction of the Chief Justice of Venezuela's Supreme Court was being offered through the state's Department's Transnational Organized Crime Rewards program. The sanctions imposed on Moreno, an ally of the Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, bar him and his wife from traveling to the United States over accusations of his involvement in significant corruption. In a statement, Moreno said Venezuela's judiciary would not accept tutelage from a foreign government. The United States charged Moreno in March with money laundering under a ground of indictments against Maduro and more than a dozen other top Venezuelan officials on charges of narco-terrorism in an escalation of the Trump administration's campaign aimed at ousting the socialist leader. Pompeo on Tuesday said that in his position, Moreno has personally received money or property bribes to influence the outcome of civil and criminal cases in Venezuela. The United States previously blacklisted Moreno and 7 other members of Venezuela's Supreme Court in 2017 as punishment for annulling the opposition-led Congress earlier that year, freezing his U.S. assets and generally prohibiting Americans from doing business with him. Now for some positive news. A coronavirus vaccine developed by the University of Oxford appears safe and triggers an immune response. Trials involving 1,077 people showed the injection led to them making antibodies and T cells that can fight coronavirus. The findings are hugely promising, but it is still too soon to know if this is enough to offer protection, and larger trials are underway. The UK has already ordered 100 million doses of the vaccine. The vaccine is being developed at an unprecedented speed. It is made from a genetically engineered virus that causes a common cold in chimpanzees. More than 10,000 people will take part in the next stage of the trials in the UK. However, the trial has also been expanded to other countries because levels of coronavirus are low in the UK, making it hard to know if the vaccine is effective. There will be a large trial involving 30,000 people in the US, as well as 2,000 in South Africa and 5,000 in Brazil. The UK government has struck deals for 190 million doses of different vaccines. And finally, the Bahamian government has banned travelers from countries where coronavirus cases are surging incessantly, especially in the United States, in an effort to prevent the further spread of the virus in the Caribbean nation, CNN reported. All international commercial flights have been banned from entering the Bahamas effectively from Wednesday. The only exemptions are visitors from the United Kingdom, European Union and Canada who have tested negative, Prime Minister Hubert Minnis said in a nationalized televised address on Sunday. Sea vessels carrying commercial passengers will also not be permitted to enter. However, private international flights, charters, and yachts from all countries will be allowed. National airline Bahamas Air will end flights to the U.S. immediately, and a number of beaches and parks have been closed until further notice, according to Minnis. The Bahamas' move to ban most international travelers, especially Americans, is significant as 50% of the nation's gross domestic product is worth $5.7 billion comes from tourism alone, according to the Bahamas Investment Authority, with the majority of the 5.5 million tourists who visit the Bahamas each year coming from the U.S. But with the U.S. beating its own daily record of new coronavirus cases at least 9 times in a month, many said adamant in saying that the Bahamas needed to focus on saving lives and limiting spread of the virus. And I quote, "The better we are at this, the more our economy could open up and people could make a living," end of quote, he said. And that is it for our region news this evening, and I continue to urge our viewers to practice social distancing, wear those masks, use those hand sanitizers, and be safe. Back to you, Travis.